y'all, welcome to another video for today. How are you? I'm glad to see you. This is another creative sim video, and as you can see by the title, I am going into a more deeper explanation on how I get my sims to look the way that they do, because I do get tons of comments not just underneath different YouTube videos and YouTube shorts, but I also get them on my TikTok comments as well under my sim stuff. So if you guys are following me on TikTok, be sure to check the link in the description below, as well as somewhere in the video where my TikTok is, so you keep it with me over there. Now, this one I do plan for it to at least be a 3-part series. This part 1 is explaining the mechanical part of Sims and how I'm using my keyboard and mouse, which if you guys do not know, you can use a keyboard and mouse on your PS5 and or Xbox, but it's just console period. You can use your keyboard and mouse so long as it has a dongle piece, which if I can find a picture, I'll insert it somewhere, because if it's a Bluetooth, some keyboards and mice do not work via Bluetooth with your given console. So I know for PlayStation users, we can't use certain Bluetooth mice, whatever, and keyboards, right? I have to use the ones that plug in. I find it to be a lot easier, and you'll see why. The reason that I choose to use a keyboard and mouse is because A, there's smooth fluidity when I'm trying to scroll like I am now, like I'm moving, right? Even with picking certain outfits or picking certain items within the face, changing the face, it's easier than using my mouse or using my controller, and you'll see why. So I put my mouse down, I'm picking up my controller, and I'm going to click to register my controller. This is me using my joystick, right? But as you can see, my shit's already moving to the left. I have stick drift. So if you're like me and your controllers constantly get stick drift or whatever the case may be, you're going to want to invest in a keyboard and mouse, because this after a while gets annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's not smooth. I can't smoothly choose, go from these eye presets to clicking something else within these bubbles. You get what I'm saying? Versus with, let me click back over to my mouse, back on my mouse now. Everything, goddamn, everything is more fluid. But like I said, this is going to be part 1, explain the mechanics. So I'm going to remove everything. I'm going to show you step by step how you can get a sim to look like mine. Okay, so I went ahead and randomized on the sim that we just had to give a new fresh start, right? So I removed everything that I didn't want. This is the skin tone that came when I hit randomized, right? This is the body preset that came before we're going to get to changing everything, right? So again, using your keyboard and mouse, if you don't have one, it is possible to use your controller for this. It's not entirely impossible, but it is a little tedious. So if you want to save yourself the headache, go ahead and invest in a cheap little $12 keyboard, $12 mouse from Walmart. Make sure it's plugged in and you'll be good to go. Now, usually what I try to do is I try to pick traits and give the character some sort of storyline or just some type of information before I open up my game, because I want to make sure that everything runs smooth and the storyline starts to sell itself once the sim gets situated in his or her world, right? So in this case, this sim is high maintenance, romantic, and hot-headed, okay? With the aspiration of being academic. So I already know right off the bat, I want their eyes to give sexy, but also soft. Soft being the academic part, they're, scholarly, and then sexy being romantic, right? And then we'll take it from there. So step number 1, we're going to focus on the face. Of course, we have to get the overall skin tone and everything, but for right now, we're going to work on the face. So what I like to do is I like to turn my sim to the side, look at their side profile, because a lot of people tend to forget that the side profile is just as important as the front. As some people don't know, you can take the entire face when you have your keyboard and mouse, and again, this is possible with controller, but it's a little more tedious. But when you click on the face, look at how free you're able to move it in any direction, backward, forward, and you see the red little line. That's as far as it goes, right? Kind of makes sense here. I'm gonna put it back to how I would like it. So I kind of get a premise of how I want the perimeter of the face to set. Usually, right, I'll go in with some hair, I'll put some hair on, and I'll do the face based on the hair. But, my style has changed over the years. This is currently how I do it, right? So find whatever eye shape you want to use for whatever traits that you have. But again, for me, I'm going off of romantic, mainly romantic. So I usually pick this third eye from the top. And I did explain this in one of my other videos, which I'll link down below if you guys want to go watch that as well. Not as detailed, but it does give you a general idea. As you can see, the eyes are already starting to soften. They're relaxed. They're more like, hey, how are you doing? You see what I'm saying? Versus the eyes that we had before. Now we're going to get some eyebrows to match the shape, even though I'm still going to go in and change the shape myself when I go into detail edit mode, but we'll get there in just a moment. This, I think, is a pretty good eye shape. I usually stick between thin eyebrows or natural looking eyebrows. Let me darken this up. but it just depends. But I think, honestly, I do kind of like those brows that I had before. Damn, I should have left it alone. It was nice. We're going to put those back, okay? So now we're going to pick the nose. I'm a black woman myself. I love Afrocentric features on a lot of us. So big noses, big lips, all those types of things, right? So I'm going to pick the widest nose that I can find that's within my safety range, and you'll see what I mean. And then lips. I usually stay in this bottom section. I hardly ever go towards the top. I don't use this that much, but again, you can do what the hell you want to do. But for me, I'm going to go with this one. And then the chin. Please, for the love of God, I don't know if people know this or not, but utilize everything. Like when you click on the head, you can change the head shape. Now, this might not be obvious, but if you turn to the side, the head shape determines where the eyebrows sit. And I think I've mentioned that before in another video that I posted, but it is important. It does help with realism. So look, I want her, she's romantic, and I want her to give off sexy. She's also high maintenance. The eyebrows right now are way too high. They're sitting at an angle that's just not, it's not given, right? Now her brow bone, I do not want her brow bone to be funny looking, so we'll leave it like this. Now, this is what I always do before I jump into detail edit mode. I take the mouth. Now you can click on the entire mouth or you can click the sides. Really, I do both. Again, this is up to you. If I zoom in all the way, there we go. So I'm highlighting in the middle of her mouth. I'm going to drag to the right. You notice when you drag left and right, it changes the size. Up and down will move the position, right? So I want her lips to be bigger, plumper, and wider. So I'm going to drag it out slightly. I want the smile line. Let me zoom in here. Excuse me. I want the corners of her mouth to be past her nostrils, right? Then I'm going to take the corner of the mouth, click it, drag it down. That removes the cartoony smile that Sims gives us, which, don't get me wrong, I do love it. However, for realism's sake, not everyone has the natural, we are not naturally like this. We're not, okay? Kind of have just a resting face. So far, so good. Now, I'm not done. I'm going to take the bottom lip and I'm going to drag it down and pull it out just a little bit. The reason I pull it out first and not in is because I want to see how I can shape the bottom lip to match the top, right? That's about as full as I would like it. Take the upper lip and drag it up. And I'm going to smooth it inward just a little bit. Perfect. Look from the side to make sure that her lips are sitting how I want them to. And if I don't like how they're sitting, I can take the upper lip from the side profile and turn it up. It's hard to tell, but if I drag it down, look at what it does to her lip. It gives her like a tucked in look, right? Versus if I had it up how it was, it's fuller, right? Same thing with the bottom. The bottom, you can only do so much. The bottom only goes in or out. It does not go up or down. So always try to remember that. And same for the chin and the jaw. Since we're in this little section, I'm going to pull her jaw down just a little. And we're going to take it in right here. Just a hair, right? Now, her nose. I'm going to take the nostrils. Gonna widen them out just a little bit. Now with the nose, you can go up or you can go down, right, left or right. This is kind of free range motion, whatever you want to call it, right? Turn to the side. To adjust the bridge of the nose, click it, either pull it up or left for a higher bridge, right and down for a more tucked in button nose rhinoplasty kind of thing, right? Now you can also drag your mouse up and down, up and down to adjust the height of the bridge. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to fix it just like that. I'm going to take the tip of the nose and slightly drag it out. And we're going to check on our beautiful nose. Look at that. So far, so good. You guys still with me? Perfect. Let's keep going. Next would be the eyebrows. Now, right in the middle between the forehead, whatever they want to call this little spot right here, you see how it's highlighting both of the eyebrows? Click it. Now you can drag it left. The left way, going left fixes the arch at the tail end of the eyebrow, right in this corner. Now going right takes it in and it makes the arch come from the tail to the mid center right up in here, right? I don't want that. I want, again, that sexy look. So we're going to go with the eyebrows turned up a little bit, a little seductive. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to push them up slightly because fully up is crazy. That's how that looks if you go all the way up. And then you take it down. It kind of removes what we just did. This gives me like apathy. I want her to have some type of expression. Bow. Now, from here, number 3 eyes are really good by themselves. You don't have to do a whole bunch of adjusting, but if you choose to, you can, from here, click on the eyes themselves, hold it, and left for bigger eyeballs or right for smaller ones. That is as small as you can go for your eyes. This is as big as you can go. I wouldn't see a need to go this big ever, but if you want to, hey, do your thing. I'm going to take it right back down to somewhat normal. I don't even know what normal looks like anymore. We'll leave it there. Corners of the eye, I'm going to take them up just a little bit. And the bottom lid, I'm going to pull it down slightly. So her eyes are open, but not so much angled. Now, look at that wonderful face. If I can get a before and after shot, I will. But so far, you don't have to do the exact same steps that I did. And I know the way that I explain them might not be, might not be good. But if you follow some of these tips, they will help you. It's like I said, getting a keyboard and mouse will really, really help out with precision and getting comfortable with moving the sliders that the game already gives you. Because again, with console, you can't get CC. We're just out. You know what I'm saying? So we have to work within the limitations that the game gives us, but we still have that creative freedom to have fun with it. All right? So that was a very short video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out my latest video that just posted a new sim series, a new console series, if you guys are interested. And the next video that will be part 2 to this video will be going into a deeper explanation with the colors, the skin color, and my 1-pack rule that I have when it comes to creating outfits for said characters. And I'll also get deeper into how I create and analyze the bodies for my characters using the tattoo system as well with business and hobbies. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.